How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to TheBlueShifting, and welcome back to the second round through the ReWrite playthrough. Now, last time we kind of blitzed through, I saw kind of how the skip system works. It actually works really well. It makes it very easy for me to catch, if not every bit of content that is new, I catch most of it. I can easily kind of stitch it all together. Last time went pretty well. We're gonna see if we're going to go any particular direction. I'm gonna say this. I heard some of you say that there was a suggested way to read the stories in order to maybe preserve some reveals or special things that might come across. I'm kind of taking that to mind, but at the same time, I'm also not really gonna be that concerned if I deviate. Maybe that would be disappointing, but the thing is, I'm not gonna hard set myself. And when it comes to the moment, I'm probably just gonna follow my heart and just kind of go with whatever I want to do. But with the understanding that we're going to be exploring this game in its entirety, I might not jump right for the next person I'm the most interested in, because I could save them for further down the line. Knowing I'll be able to play them and play through that story and share it with you, it makes it a lot easier for me to just kind of I don't really care. So keep in mind, I have read your comments about what paths to take, at least the orders you recommend, and just wanted to be clear that if I deviate from it, I'm not going to be that upset, and I don't want you to be that upset either. One of the things I think I have as an advantage for the kind of content that I make is that I tend to be very involved in the story, and so while there could be some twists and turns that could be revealed out of order, I still feel like I would be able to be fully immersed even when that twist comes up. If I were to see it coming, I think I would still be able to experience the really raw emotions and craziness about that scene, just because I get so involved in the stories. I don't care if I know what's coming, it doesn't really matter for me. I mean, it's nice when I can do everything completely blind, but it's not the worst thing in the world if somehow I go a little out of the suggested order. So we'll see what happens. But so far, I'm really excited to see how this plays out. So we are back and we are going to launch off today. So let's see what shenanigans we skip along through, and hopefully we make some good content together. So thank you so much for joining me. Let's get started. All right. Okay. So you going home already, Kotarou?
ごめんね。
I'm guessing this is a choice. What am I supposed to do now then?
あ、じゃあちーちゃんに街の案内でもしてあげたら？
Wait, did this even happen? Is this a choice, or is this a completely different event?
そうです。昨日も小太郎がそう言ってましたし、せっかくですから付き合ってあげても。
Alright, maybe I'm just going crazy. For some reason, I'm already I don't remember this. I'm not going if you're gonna act like that. I don't like being talked down to.
ところで、小太郎さん。
Yes, Kotarou. Yes.
小太郎って呼ばれてる？
Okay, so maybe there was something that happened. Maybe following her actually is already cascaded into a whole new set of things. It does sound like my name, all right. Is there a problem with that? Aww. It's kind of sad, though, because I know how Kotarou feels, but she's also, trying to distance herself, so I could actually see her being our best wingman, because despite her own personal feelings, she also is, she's become very good at setting those aside, and so I can see her being super supportive of any girl that shows interest in us.
じゃあ、二人で行ってくることを。
Hey.
じゃあね、ちーちゃん。
Aw.
はい、さよならです。
Hey, wait a second. Do I have a scandal on my hands? An unexpected relationship between the class weirdo and the transfer student? Well, not like today is any less weird, having successfully killed all interest in herself in just a few days. Oh, is he talking about the students in the class? Because that seems really harsh. Ah, jeez. I really hope this isn't going to end up being troublesome. Aww, she's pretty adorable, if super airheady. Well, probably won't. Rather than that, I should focus on having her and Kotarou befriend each other. We'll probably end up as a group of outcast weirdos, but that isn't necessarily a bad thing. Kotarou might finally have someone to partner up with during gym class.
はい。
Well, let's go. I pick up my bag and head for the door. Not coming, transfer student Kotarou?
Hi.
I don't know how to put it, but I feel like I spotted a little spark of happiness in her eyes when I actually expressed my interest in keeping her company. Well, that's the funny thing is so Kotaru has expressed that besides Kotori and, Yoshiro, which, we're going to put him in quotes for this part, he says he doesn't have very many friends really at all. Like, he sees himself being a friendly individual, but not friends with anybody else. He feels very alone. He feels like an island of a person. And Otori, Chiihaya feels the same way. She's very much isolated. So, yeah, like the fact that someone's being friendly and treating her like a person is probably really thrilling for her. And it's kind of making me reflect back on all the fun little interactions that he would have with her when she would come and sit down in the class. Like, that first playthrough, it kind of just seemed like a goofy way to entertain himself, right? But like on this one, maybe the feeling is a bit more appropriate to be like a budding friendship. And while she seems really like off-put by all the weird questions, it might be a big part of why she was always kind of going with the flow, even though like it tended to go nowhere, because she got to have that connection with somebody. There could never be enough of these kinds of innocent attention-seeking people, especially among girls, or at least that's how I feel. Man, he does feel conceited now. Like, having seen post Kotori route, like, and then hearing his thoughts here, he really does sound like he looks down on everybody, which is funny because, like, I never, like, cognitively put that together until Yoshiro pointed it out. And now I'm seeing it. It's crazy. It's always more fun being together than alone, after all. I head to the main entrance with Otori, feeling like we're attracting stares from every direction. Well, to be fair, she's probably drawing the attention with her uniform. No, we probably aren't. I simply feel like I'm doing something that warrants stares.
待ってください。早いです。
Oh, sorry. Otori seems to still be in the middle of changing her shoes. I'm not trying to jinx it or anything, but just try not to fall, okay?
そんな心配してもらわなくても大丈夫です。
Uh-huh. You say that. So you say, but...
これまでのはたまたまですから。
Uh-huh. Oh, okay. Sure. I'll totally believe that when I see any evidence that goes against it. Having finished changing her shoes, Otori lines up next to me. It looks like she's proud of achieving this feat without having an accident. Uh-huh. Huh.
何ですかその深いため息は。
I have nothing to say, really. I gotta say, like, Chiihaya, she didn't give me the best impression out of all the girls that like we kind of got to know throughout the story so far. But having seen a little more about her, she's definitely enjoyable to be around. Again, I have to say, like, if we end up going down her route, like, I can see why it could happen, but I'm getting the impression just right now that she's probably not going to be my most like favorite of the characters. But that's not because she's a bad character. In fact, I think she's probably one of the most amusing ones. Anytime we have interaction with her, it's a goofy fun. It almost becomes slapstick Looney Tunes like fun, and I'm a huge fan of Looney Tunes. But I also don't know how that's going to translate into genuine feeling. Now, I'm sure it will, but we'll see. I'm going to reserve judgment. Plus, who knows when we're actually going to go down her route. All right, we leave the school building and continue to the main gate. When I suddenly realized that Otori stopped following me. I turn around and notice her walking in a completely different direction. Like, wait, what? Why? Hey! I dash over to her.
Hi?
Look, while both your eyes and heart might be covered by a thick mist, leaving you unable to see...
なんだかえらい言われような気がしますけど。
It was kind of rude. The exit's over there.
はい、知ってます。
I thought you wanted to leave.
しますけど、今日は自転車なんです。
Oh. You know what? That actually makes sense then.
自転車通学です。
I see. That explains why you're not going straight to the main gate.
ですよ。小太郎は早とちりで困りますね。
Fair, but counterpoint. Why didn't you explain this to me sooner? That said, the bicycle parking area is the other way. That's even better. You have to take a left turn on your way to the gate, not a right.
Huh?
It's too bad you got no sense of direction, huh? This is the moment of my revenge. Aww, don't pick on her so hard.
そういう言い方するから、私はあなたが嫌いなんです。
Well, okay. I guess it's time for us to go our separate ways then. Yeah, just one single phrase is enough to get her down. I'm just kidding. It feels like I'm being a bit too lenient on her given the attitude, though. I don't know, man. She's struggling. She doesn't know how she wants to feel about all this. Stop sulking and let's go, little lady.
はい。
Normally, I would have had long ditched a person who kept going on and on about how much they disliked me. So this is a particularly odd relationship the two of us have managed to establish. Yeah, it's weird, but it's okay. Otori brings her bicycle back from the parking area. I see you've got yourself a popular city bike. It's on its front rests a wooden basket, an ordinary sight in this town. Its frame sparkles as though recently polished. She must have bought it brand new just the other day. So he talks about it as a city bike. Usually, at least for me, like I've had some experience cycling. I enjoy it. I actually found one of my most favorite activities to do is mountain biking. It's been several years since I've had a good mountain bike, but that can be really fun. You don't have to do anything crazy either. Like you can often find like a local park where you just have these kind of like hills just through the countryside and through forests. It can be beautiful. It can be kind of like it's like dancing on the knife's edge of like disaster because you end up going really fast through like a very thick wooded area, but it's on paths and you can be relatively safe and like know that you're going along like secured paths that are decently maintained usually. Really fun. If you've never done that before, honestly, it's worth it, especially because you can usually rent a mountain bike for an afternoon for like $20 if you go to the right place. It depends though. Some places don't have that infrastructure, but still, if you've never done it before, it'd be a really fun way to just spend a day. And I would say very like, especially if you and like somebody you're like dating are like even kind of active. You don't even have to be in shape really, but if you're just like enjoy being outside, like maybe hiking and stuff, like absolutely you need to try it because it's like hiking but way better.
じゃあ、行きましょう。
Wait, what about me?
ダッシュでいいんじゃないです？
I mean, I'm glad you think so highly of me, but like that's gonna be real exhausting. How much of town did you want to see exactly?
田園の方まで行ってみたいですね。
Fetch me! I'm going home.
ここまで来たんですから。
Exactly how many kilometers are you planning to make me run? Well, guess I have no choice. This isn't exactly allowed as per the town bylaws, but you can't survive in the real world by following all the rules. I sit down on the back of Otori's bicycle, placing my bag underneath my backside as a cushion. There's nothing important in there anyway. Just, school stuff. Nothing important. This is very interesting because it's also the reverse of the typical. All right, good kids shouldn't try this at home, but let's go.
はい？どうでもいいですけど。
Yeah?
あんまりひっつかないでくれます？
I mean, okay, I would say my response would be like, that depends entirely on how safely you can ride this bike. And saying this out loud is already making me nervous. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I inch away from her. Onwards! Wobble, wobble. Oh, there we go. We fall. Well, that's a no-go.
なんなんですか、一体。
Well, I just thought we could easily hit a 70 kilometers an hour with your strength.
無理に決まってます。だいたいこんな乗り方初めてなんですから。
Huh. Let's switch then.
はい？
Yeah, that feels a bit more appropriate then. You sit on the back, I'll sit at the front.
はあ。で、このカバンは？
You can just sit on it. Just use it as a cushion.
いいならいいんですけど。
There's nothing important in there anyway. She's about to straddle the rack, but she pauses for a few moments and ends up turning sideways. Side saddle, I could get that. You can sit like that if you really want, but it's gonna make it harder to balance, so be careful, okay?
やっぱり。
Crap, a teacher's coming.
はい。
Hold on! Alright, let's bolt out of here before he sees us.
いや、そこまで普通に降りていけば。
Go! I put all my weight on the pedal. You see, I'm the type of person whose personality changes when I get my paws on a pair of handlebars. Oh, okay, so yeah, you're kind of just a dude bro. And just to reiterate, I would really not recommend doing this at home. The path to the gate is a mild slope downward, so I have no trouble building up speed right away. We blow through the gates like the wind. Woohoo! Let's follow the way to the bottom. I just remembered, this school is on the top of a pretty significant hill. Not like the Muvla like slope of death, but it had a lot of back switching, so this could get exciting real quick. And remember, she literally on the first day of school flew off of essentially a cliffside leading up to the school. So we're gonna be riding past that. Don't worry, I'm a professional. Just leave everything to me.
何を任せればいいんですか？とりあえず早すぎます。
Fast is good. And with that, we reach the far steeper slope. Huh? What? I can't hear you. Okay, hold on tight. Aha! Before the cycling technique of the downhill king of the Kazamatsuri, Rocket Kotarou. I dart by the students descending on the road, moving like a thread through a needle. Oh, there's a corner ahead. I'm gonna beat my own this hairpin. No, don't do that. What do you want me to break? What is she trying to say? Breaking or breaking? Whoa. Wait, crap. I'm bad at spelling things. Oh no. Oh my gosh. Okay. To explain this, because it's gonna make me look really stupid, I'm pretty sure I know which one's the right one. Because one is like breaking something and one is like slowing down. But here's the thing. I'm a phonetic thinker. I think I've talked about this before. I don't see like words in my head. I don't hear things in my head. I see pictures. So for me, like homonyms, things that sound the same but have different meaning and are spelled differently, are one of the biggest hurdles I run into, because in my head, it's the actions, like some breaking, like I just said, like something getting broken in half and breaking, or breaking, applying brakes and slowing down. They're kind of there as images in my head. I don't see the words. And so like, especially when I'm double like second guessing myself, I have to just go with it. I'm pretty sure it's this one. Right, solid control of the brakes is one of the most basic skills expected of a good racer. Thank goodness. I was like 99% sure, but like because it was like making it a choice, I became panicked. I decided to lower my speed so I can take the upcoming corner perfectly. Normally, it's dangerous to rely on front brakes, as locking your front wheels while descending a slope can easily cause your bicycle to flip over. Yes, especially if you have disc brakes, which are the best brakes for biking, because they really are effective. But they're so effective, you can easily catapult yourself, like, because it'll go from like fast to dead stop if you like, especially panic grab. However, with Otori sitting behind me, I'm actually carrying more weight on the back than the front. As such, the best way to lower my speed in this situation is to slowly ease on the back brakes and then clutch hard on the front. Let's go, time for braking. I clear the corner, the bicycle letting out an ear-piercing screech as I do. That went well, I got to accelerate again. Kora! Whap. Otori punches the back of my head. Why? Okay, I know she's upset, but don't punch the driver. Ow, what's gotten into you? It's dangerous. She clutches my collar before I can finish. Okay, we've upset her, clearly. Let's listen. Can't breathe. Wobble. I'm trying. And now she's gonna get tighter because she's panicking. And this is how we descend the slope. Our ear-piercing screams melting into the blue sky. Well, I mean, we managed it. As you say, princess. We continue down the street, her hand still menacingly gripping my collar. Oh, wasn't it fun? In a roller coaster kind of way, I mean? I see. I've heard girls like this kind of stuff, though. You know, she's got her number there. I see. Wait, subturness? What? Is she supposed to be saying subtlety? Because that's very, very wrong. What? Subterraneanness? You sure you don't mean subtlety? Subtlety, the ability to make distinctions to refine your reasoning. Oh, look, there's some dog poop on the road. I turn the handlebars to avoid running it over. Otori suddenly wraps her arms around me, pulling me to the side. Hey, you're gonna make us fall if you keep jumping around. No, I didn't want to end up over, I didn't want that to end up all over your bike's tires. I point behind us. There are rules against that kind of thing, but some people just don't care. You have to train them rigorously so they don't dirty the streets, and I'm not talking about the dogs.
そうです。
That's true. You don't blame the dogs for their crap being all over the roads or in your yard. It's not their fault. They're just doing what nature does, and they're a dog. It's the owners who aren't taking responsibility, because if it's your pet and you love it, you take responsibility for it. You sure you want to keep clinging to me, though? My heart's pounding. I point to her arms. She recoils away. But she quickly loses her balance and resumes hugging me. Well, I don't really mind. She's like Tottori. She's like, oh!
そうですね。
She awkwardly mumbles something under her breath. Oh, there's a shortcut through the park over there. Are you listening?
聞いてます。
It's really hard to know if she's genuinely enjoying things or she just feels embarrassed. We pass by the roadblock and enter the bikeway inside the park. Oh, this is gonna be pretty. Oh, look at that! Oh, fetch me, that picture. Ooh. You know, I gotta admit, she's pretty cute. Like, she's definitely got a very good, like, look, and like, and even like stepping back from like the, my personal feelings, just artistically, she's got a fantastic character design. And the uniform's actually really nice too. Like, just overall, everything about her has been really well done. But look at this picture, it's cute. The thick trees surround us on both sides. It feels like we're riding through a long green tunnel. I love biking in parks, it's the best. Light dances on the ground below us as the leaves rustle above in the wind. This idyllic atmosphere makes the path one of the most popular running courses in Kazamatsuri. It's refreshingly cool in the summer thanks to the shade of the trees, and you can enjoy the sight of the leaves falling in the autumn. Best part of the year, autumn, and it's coming up. I'm so excited. I'm not a big fan of the smell in autumn though, so I don't really come here much then. Really? I guess some people might not like it. I love it though. Either way, it is without a doubt one of the most picturesque roads in our town. We continue riding in silence, passing other people enjoying the sights of nature. This feels like a scene straight out of a movie.
はい。
No, the current situation, I mean.
さっきのカーアクションですか？
That was pretty cool. No, surprisingly, few people are into slow-paced and emotional movies. I'll go a bit slower. It won't be thrilling at all, but it'll allow for a breather for conversation. So, why'd you move here at this time of year?
はい。時期はちょうど良かったからです。
That's an interesting answer. Huh?
夏は暑いし、冬は寒いですから。
Oddly enough, having moved both in summer and in winter, it is absolutely true that it sucks. Moving in summer sucks because it's so hot and you have to move stuff in and out and you're always stuck outside, and you're usually stuck driving a big dirty truck, which is just a hell box essentially on wheels. And in the winter, if you have to try and move heavy objects through snow and ice, good luck, you're gonna die. Well, I guess good weather makes moving easier, but is that enough of a reason to transfer schools? What about your parents? Weren't they against it? A lot of students from further away attend our school by train.
反対はありません。
Really? Otori must have a very chill family.
どうしてそんなこと聞くんですか？
Huh? Isn't it normal to ask questions about why you moved? What your parents do or stuff like that?
普通ですか？
I think so.
じゃあ、引っ越してきた理由は、引っ越すのにちょうど良かったからです。
Must be nice to have that kind of freedom.
自由です。
I'd say I have a lot of that. Okay, that's fair. So, what do your parents do?
親の仕事はありません。
Huh?
いませんから。
Oh, well, I mean, there you go. Crap. Probably shouldn't have asked that.
そういう意味じゃ、確かに私は自由ですね。
That's a very bitter freedom, though. Ah, freedom. Most normal people crave it. But the freedom Otori is talking about is hardly the kind anyone would have envied for her for. For her, freedom is just another name for loneliness. I see.
なんでそんなテンション下がるんですか？
No, I just thought I asked something I shouldn't have.
聞くのは普通なんですよね。
Well, the answer I received wasn't exactly normal, so...
私には普通です。
You know what? She's been kind of really like airheaded up to this point. I even like kind of started this whole video like that. But you gotta admit, she's got some pretty profound points here. Sometimes the simple minds can actually have the most like compelling, powerful truth. Like the understanding of a simple mind can actually be really beneficial. In fact, like I'd say that whilst no one like wants to be simple or considered stupid or airheaded or anything, like these are things that we often make fun of, but there's a lot of probably peace that comes with that type of thinking, you know? She doesn't probably spend a whole lot of time looking at other people and envying them. She probably just puts all her energy into whatever she's doing at the moment and, you know, doing what she wants to do. So for her, for like me, moving is a traumatic experience because of all the stresses and stuff that I consider. But for her, it was just like, I felt like moving, so I did. And the simplicity of that, being able to kind of not be absorbed in all the like what if questions and like, you know, surroundings and everything. Like again, for her, like moving this time of year isn't really ideal because you're moving essentially in the middle of the school year. But she didn't really care about that. She's like, I just want to move. You know, I'll deal with it. And honestly, that's a good way to go through life because often, especially if you're someone like me, if you're an overthinker like I am, you make things way worse than they actually are. And you cause yourself a lot more stress than is even warranted for the situation because that's just what you could do when you're like me. Well, I wouldn't be surprised if many of you can relate with that. I see. What is normal anyway? Who defines that? Even things that may be normal for half the human species aren't normal for the other half. That's starting to sound kind of thoughtless though, I guess. It's kind of funny too, because like that point there too, it's not as much a problem anymore, but it used to be like America had a stranglehold on the entertainment industry. Like, just bar none. Like, Hollywood was just everywhere, and almost all of our programs got piped out to everyone else. Got translated, dubbed over, whatever, but like, essentially, it was all United States entertainment for a long time. Now we're seeing a rise of other industries and other nations, and it's really, really good to see, I think. Personally, I've benefited from being able to enjoy shows from other nations, get different perspectives, different like ideas, and oftentimes I think with the lack of like traditional and like kind of inherited like prosperity in the Hollywood scene, which kind of leads to a lot of this very samey stuff kind of regurgitating over and over. If you watch things like K-dramas, like anime from Japan is a good example. I've seen a few Bollywood flicks. They often are willing to go places and try ideas that just wouldn't fly in most typical Hollywood because, you know, everyone wants to just make money. They want to have the safe idea, aka why do we have a billion like superhero movies? Nothing wrong with superhero movies. They're pretty fun, but they're getting old because everyone just feels like it's a money printing machine. And it's hard to find people who are willing to push that envelope and try something new or unique. And going overseas and looking at productions from other countries is a way to do that. So it's kind of nice to be able to see that idea of like, you know what, not seeing things from the same point of view, because that's what the whole reason I was getting to that is like Hollywood dictated what was normal for entertainment for a long time. They still do in a lot of ways, but I feel like that's shifting, and I think that's a good thing.
Kotarou wa dou nan desu ka?
She interrupts my little episode of self-loathing.
Kotarou wa dou nan desu ka?
Oh, my family.
そうです。
Well, we're just normal. No, I mean, both my parents are around. They do work for this company.
歯切れ悪いですね。
No,
何を気にしてるか知りませんが、私には普通なんですから。
that's refreshing.
その、どんない?
I like that she's comforting us. Good grief. Like, Kotarou's sitting here like, oh my gosh, like I'm kind of a scumbag for just assuming things. Like, that's the worst. And she's like, cheer up, it's okay. And we're like, fetch me. Okay.
何ですかその呆れ気味な声は?
Right. That's just my normal tone of voice, though. Perhaps I really shouldn't be overthinking it. That said, it'd be best to avoid tactless breaching of this subject again. Even I understand that some matters can't be joked about. Well, the smartest course of action in this kind of situation is to change the subject. So,
何です?
But I can't think of anything to say. I want to change the subject, but I can't think of anything, so you come up with something instead.
はい、
Rattle, rattle.
じゃあ、今なんですけど。
Rattle, rattle. Yeah?
なんでこんなに揺れてるんでしょうか?
Did we get a flat? I suddenly realized we've been having much more trouble pedaling in the past few minutes. Well, let me stop real quick. It's gonna be a flat tire. I stopped the bicycle and checked the tires. As expected, the back one's completely flat. Yeah, it's actually shocking you didn't notice before. If you've ever ridden on a flat tire, it's not subtle, and it makes riding your bike go from like you don't think of bikes as being a smooth ride until you have a flat, and then you're like, oh gosh, this is so much harder than like walking.
だから、ああいう危ない乗り方はやっぱりダメだったんです。小太郎の考えなしのせいです。
She's got you there, buddy. Yeah, I'm sorry. Never thought you'd be so heavy. That's not the right response.
重い？そんなに重くないです。
We head toward a nearby bicycle shop, arguing on the way as usual.
だいたい新品なのにいきなり壊れるなんてありえません。
Oh, no. Even a brand new bike can hit a piece of glass or hit a nail. That'll just do it right in. It doesn't really matter how new your tire is if you run over a nail or something. Anyway, I'm really sorry about this.
まあ、そう言われると、もともとは私が誘ったのも。
Right, and you were the one who came on a bicycle. And it's you who couldn't ride on the rack properly.
そうですね。
No, it's not her fault! I'd say that, in this case, about 80% of the blame is on you.
そうでしたか。
No! No, it's not true. The pilot, the driver, is almost always the one at fault when these kinds of things happen.
やっぱりそこまで悪くないです。無茶な乗り方をしたのも、無理やり私を後ろに乗せたのも小太郎じゃないですか。
I hoped you wouldn't notice.
誰だって普通気づきます。
Most people would have done it a bit faster, though. Well, anyway, we're here.
はい。
Excuse me. The old guy in the gray work clothes with a towel around his neck steps out of the shop.
はいはい、パンクかね。
Yes, indeed.
見たところ新品の自転車だし、チューブの補修ならすぐに終わるよ。
The nice thing about bikes is actually the maintenance for them is really, really easy, and it's not hard to learn. And changing tires, while it's kind of tricky, once you figure it out, it's actually not that bad. The trouble is with something like this, if it was a puncture, like instead of just a misalignment, which can happen, like especially with a road bike with thinner tires, if you just take a turn too sharp, you can actually just kind of like cause the deflation to occur because you misalign the tire. But if you get an actual puncture, you need to patch not just the actual tube inside, but you need to make sure to patch the rubber part, or else the inflated portion of the tube will actually poke out the hole that was put into the actual rubber exterior, and that will just mean it'll pop again really easily.
お願いします。
二人乗りはいかんよ。タイヤも傷むし。
That was my bad.
まあ私も若い頃は今の嫁さん後ろに乗っけて走り回ったもんだがね。
Uh-oh. He lets out a hearty laugh as he takes out his tools. Right. I steal a glance towards Otori.
何ですか？
No, it's nothing.
別に小太郎はそういうんじゃないですから。むしろ嫌いな方です。
Well, okay.
若いね。
The old man begins taking the tube out of her tire with a smile on his face. We have nothing else to do, so we just stare as he works. Otori seems almost hypnotized by the movements of the old man's fingers.
これは何です？
ベルトサンダーだよ。
You shape the rubber with the sandpaper mounted on it. That's true. You can also do it with a hand piece. So if you get a patch kit, it'll actually come with a tiny square of sandpaper, because by making the tube a little rough around where you need to put the patch, it makes it so the adhesive clings to it much securely.
そうそう。よく知ってるね。
I might not look like it, but I used to change the flat tires in my household all the time. It became too much of a pain with my limited schedule lately, so I mainly leave it to the professionals these days. This girl doesn't seem to know anything about fixing things. She regards the spinning belt sander with covetous eyes. Her ignorance of the everyday world really makes her come off as some kind of sheltered princess. By the way, belt sander is quite a cool name, don't you think? Almost sounds like belt sunder.
どうだっていいです。
Huh? I mean, doesn't sundering stuff sound cool?
サンダーだから何なんですか？
That's a cool word, I get it. You're like smashing stuff into little pieces.
全く答えになってないように聞こえますけど。
Crushing things underfoot. It's a belt that can do that, don't you get it? Wait, on second thought, a crushing belt doesn't sound quite right. Let's go with something else.
小太郎は変ですね。
Yes, we are. Well, I can't deny that.
若いね。
The bicycle repairs finished up as we chat. Evening has already begun to swallow the town.
まったく。小太郎のせいで今日はろくな目に遭いませんでした。
I mean, it was kind of fun, though we definitely didn't get the tour like we were supposed to. Yeah, I have my sincerest apologies. I push Otori's bicycle along the road as she walks next to me. All I ended up showing her was the park and the bike shop. Well, it probably isn't too late to still show her a thing or two. Hey, Otori, that house over there belongs to Mr. Kato.
どなたですか？
Mr. Kato. She's never met him.
どうでもいいです。
I have to agree. What the heck am I supposed to show her in a quiet residential area like this?
お腹すきましたね。
There's nowhere to eat around these parts. I have a vague recollection of there being some cafes in the area, but...
しょうがないので、家に帰るまで我慢します。も
Where do you live anyway?
う、すぐ近くです。この辺でもういいです。
Really? Otori grabs the brakes on her bicycle and I hand it back to her. Anyway, I'm really sorry for not showing you around much.
いえ、それなりに楽しかったですし。
Aw, that's very charitable of you. Fun? Which part exactly?
いえ、特にどこってわけじゃないです。
Oh. So, did you enjoy the downhill adventure after all?
あなたの後ろには二度と乗りたくありません。ああ、もう、やっぱり楽しいことなんて何もなかった気がしてきました。
You wound me. Do you really think so?
そうって。時間もったいないので帰りますね。
Okay.
だからそういうところが。
If there's anything you don't like about my attitude, I'll try my best to fix it.
よろしくお願いします。
And so she walks off. Well then, it's about time for me to head home as well. That was awesome. That was fun. 2TK. Oh, we've, make your way to the 2A classroom by midnight alone. It sounds like I skipped this, but I don't remember this. Consult the map for like infiltration. Oh, okay, right. The infiltration. This is, for, is this to meet up with the, this is to meet up with the Occult Research Society, if I remember correctly, right? Yep, Witch of the Academy. Man, it feels like it's been ages. It hasn't really, but it feels like it's been forever since we were at this part. Anyway, we'll continue the skippage and see where we end up. So interesting. So here is, she's kind of giving us the results. Remember, we did the quiz and she asked the question where it's like, if you had the power to change the world, would you change, if you had a power, would you change the world or change yourself? And I think this time I said, I don't know. And so she says like, so the answer to that question, what did you think? And I was like, well, it's just how I felt at the time. And when I did it last time, she was really pleased with the response. This time, she looked somewhat dissatisfied. Pretty sure I said I couldn't choose either. I definitely gave the question some serious thought before arriving at that conclusion. It's probably the kind of answer she'd hate, huh? But that's how I genuinely feel. Anyway, I should try talking about something else. Anyway, so now we're going to continue talking about getting help about the ghost. Whew. Okay. Went through a lot of stuff that we passed. It made me laugh, made me smile. Like, it was the whole, like, scene with, in the lunchroom and everything. But let's see, what's here going on? Okay, so, I don't think anyone died no matter what people said about a convenience store box. Doesn't hurt to relax in the classroom every once in a while. Box lunches are great. Lucia, did our class representative bring her own lunch today too? I spot her rummaging through her bag, typically brisk expression on her face. Well, where should I eat? I think I'm gonna stay in the classroom, but I kind of want to see if there's another thing I can do. No. Okay, it looks like that I did the other one. So like, let's cheese it a bit, and we're gonna load the other one. We're gonna do the other one. Maybe she's outside. Guess there are better places to relax. I felt like eating alone, so I found myself a nice quiet place out in the courtyard. It's nice to relax all by yourself once in a while. I spot someone crossing the courtyard. Right, you're the teacher lady who's very, like, handsy. Miss Nishikujo strides towards the rear of the school building with a cheerful song on her lips. What's she doing over there? I decide to follow her. This can only be interesting. Uh-huh. I find her crouched in front of an alcove and laughing to herself. Okay. I draw closer. Noticing my presence, she turns around. What are you doing, Miss Nishikujo? What, do you have like a cat? She starts tearing up out of nowhere. Okay. I steal a glance into the alcove to find a little puppy resting in a cardboard box. Aww. Is that what she's hiding? Aren't you a bit too old to be doing something like this?
だって、うちじゃ飼えないんですもの。なんとか今日中に飼い主見つけるから、黙ってて。
Yeah, but like, I mean, I know you want to take care of him, but like, keeping a puppy just locked in a box, like, that's really sad. But, I don't know, Pound might not be much better. That's fine, but I have some concerns about her dependability as a human being. Alright, now we're back to Skippid's show. Let's continue on. Okay, so this is where we came in. Okay, so this is where it's a little different. So we've talked to Akane. We even got her to like go on a little like expedition with us. But we come back into the club and found Otori here. And now, because I've had some more interaction with Otori, you know, Chiihaya, we have a different line here apparently. So Otori said, no, Kotori said like, wait, are you a member of this club, Chi? And she said, yeah, I think so. And so, yeah, something along those lines anyway. She definitely did mention occult research once before. Well, we can always trust an extra pair of hands for our investigation. And that's all. Like, we had one line change. Right. So, we're not gonna... I'm gonna look at this choice here in a second, but we just had the appearance of creepy stepbro for Chiihaya, who I don't like. I hated him from the get-go. But if we're going to be more friends with Chiihaya this round, he's going to be even worse. He's going to be insufferable. All right, let's see. Looking through. All right, so this is about, Chiihaya's going to Akane's room. And Kotori. So Lucia's leaving for lunch, and Yoshino refuses. Okay, so follow Kotori, which is definitely what I did last time. Go to the cafeteria, which is where I think Lucia went, right? Like, it's way up here. I'm leaving at lunch. Both of these question with on accord. How cold? So, okay, so Kotori goes to the bakery. Lucia is leaving to eat lunch. Chiihaya's going to Akane's room. All right, so I'm thinking we're going to take the third path here. I don't feel like doing either. I decided to get something to eat outside. At this point, it'd be fine with just convenient store lunchbox. The town's always bustling with activity during lunch hour. I suddenly spot someone I'd never expected to see here. Hey, it's the president.
あら、Tennouji.
Interesting. Yeah, this is really weird. Why are we running into you here? Never thought I'd find you here. What are you doing?
イラッとしていたの。
Ah, okay. I've got a bad vibe right from the start. Chiihaya said something about going into town earlier. It sounds like it's most likely related to that.
たまには外食でもしようかと思ったのだけど、選択肢が多すぎて決められないのよ。
Oh, I was about to eat lunch on my own, so this sounds perfect. It might be fun to invite her. It's good to have options.
似たような店ばかりだわ。
Right, lots of chain restaurants operating in this area. Beef bowl, ramen, curry. I even spot some of the same specialty restaurants lined right next to each other, seemingly not caring in the slightest about competition. It really is difficult to pick a place randomly when surrounded by this much stuff.
そうだわ、Tennouji。お前が案内なさい。
Aw, that's kind of a very oddly formal way to say it.
この辺りで一番いい店はどこなの？
I don't think that's the question has an objective answer. It depends on what you like, so...
これはラーメンの匂いなのかしら？
Well, there we go. Look, it's impossible to give an instant noodle such an abstract question.
抽象的でしょ？
That's because you brought up ramen out of nowhere. Is that what you want to eat today?
食べるための決まり事がたくさんある。うるさいラーメン屋は嫌いね。
Oh, I don't think ramen has rules. Well, people will impose rules, but there's no, like, actual rules, right? Some people just eat it differently. I don't think there's any restaurants like that in this area. That said, none of the places here serve exceptionally good ramen either.
じゃあ却下。
If we follow that logic, beef bowls and curry are eliminated too.
じゃあ平凡な高級料亭でいいわ。
Average high class. I wouldn't even know where to find one.
ちょっとエスコート失格じゃない。
Well, I was grandfathered into this. I'm sorry, I didn't come prepared. Can't we just go to a family restaurant?
レンジでチンが嫌だから外に出たのよ。このストレス社会に身をさらすというリスクを冒してまでね。
Sister, I feel you there. Holy crap. Said like a true shut-in.
高級でなくてもいいから変わったものが食べたいということよ。
Well, let me see if I can find something. She sure doesn't make it easy, though. Well, I can't get too angry with Prez. Doesn't feel like that bad being pushed around by her. After exploring for some time, I discovered 3 worthwhile-looking places.
なかなかいいわね。どこにしましょうか。
How about Crazy Beef Steakhouse, Caesarea Italian cuisine, and lunchtime cafeteria? Well, cafeteria instantly out. If we want cafeteria food, we could just go to a cafeteria at school. Crazy Beef Steakhouse sounds like essentially what I would experience from a Texas Roadhouse. It's a steakhouse, but with so much flair, it might get annoying. So let's go to the Caesarean Italian cuisine. Caesarean Italian cuisine.
あの看板のマーク、どこかで見たことがあるような気がするわ。
Red letters on the inside of green circle spell the outside of the establishment's name. Uh-oh. That actually sounds like a real main chain place then. Italian, family restaurant, green circle. That can't be coincidentally similar. I'm pretty sure they're doing that on purpose. A less desperate attempt at doing some business, at least until the lawsuit comes and it's time to bail. Maybe that wasn't a good choice. Uh-oh. The interior isn't much different from an average family restaurant. Neither is the menu. It tastes okay.
おかしいのは経営者の覚悟だけみたいね。
Yeah, I mean, that's still something. That said, the establishment has a fine amount of guests inside. Most of them are housewives or students, though. It's not much different from a place it's mimicking.
やはりレストランは落ち着かないわね。
Well, the right restaurant maybe, but this definitely isn't it. You didn't enjoy yourself?
どうもね。食事は落ち着いて取りたいものよね。ネットとか見ながら。
Same. I think you should do something about that before it gets out of hand. What are you trying to say, Kotarou? But as we're about to leave the restaurant, a certain group of people steps inside.
警察の者だけど、経営者の方は
Oh, the rumble's here!
私ですが、逮捕状出てますよ。任意出頭、無視しすぎだよ。
Oh my gosh.
ついにこの副店長、今日から君がここのボスだ。
Bail! Bail!
おお、な。
The man is escorted outside. The guests observe the incident in solemn silence. He seriously just got arrested.
ロックだわね。
You end up being witness to an incredible event that has nothing to do with lunch. Well, that was fun.
味はともかく出し物は楽しめたわ。
You know what? Silver linings. That's nice. I don't think that was supposed to entertain. The president seemed satisfied by the overall experience. Okay. Right. So I'm going to go to the next skip and see where it drops us off, but I think we're going to be wrapping up around now. Okay. So this is definitely not the most exciting place to end, but I think I am going to end it here because part of my brain signaling that there was a conversation with a character that we could have interacted with around this time, and it was in one of these types of situations. So I'm guessing that there's going to be something that we missed that you all were saying we're looking really forward to. So I'm going to see if anything interesting comes up there, but I feel like we got enough of really interesting content that came out today. So this is fun. The way that we're playing this with the skipping is actually kind of working pretty well. I was worried it wasn't going to be easy to edit or I guess it's not the easiest to edit for sure, but I imagine it was going to be a lot, a lot more just choppy and illogical, and there's a little bit of that where every time it does stop I have to rewind and look at the conversation leading up to it to kind of remind myself of what happens at this scene. But mostly I've been able to keep up to date with stuff, so I hope that came across okay. If I'm not filling in enough gaps or maybe I'm being too long-winded with some of the recaps, just let me know. A lot of you probably are really familiar with the story since you probably played through it all already, but still it's a balance I gotta strike, and it's tough when it's gotta be this kind of hybrid where I'm not reading most of the content because it's literally identical, but we still have to be aware where we are in that content, or else the scenes we look at are really mismatched. So anyway, thank you so much for being here today. I hope you enjoyed yourself. I certainly enjoyed making it. It's always fun to do something like this, and it is really good to be back into the series, of course. Every time it's always fun. Hopefully you've been having as much fun as I have and that we continue to enjoy the story together. But until the next video, watch with me, or see me in next. I'll see you there.